Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Gupta, pediatric occupational therapist. Today I am going to open the closed window about how occupational therapy works. If you all have any confusion regarding what is occupational therapy, please check out the link below in my description box. So let's come back to how occupational therapy works in children. So when we talk about the goals, occupational therapy goals in children is to enable them to participate at home, school and community independently. So pediatric occupational therapy is a kind of therapy which uses holistic approach to deal with children who are facing trouble in different physical skills. Physical skills may be gross motor skills, fine motor skills, cognitive academic skills which we call as learning skills, visual perceptual skills, sensory processing skills, self-help skills which includes daily routine activities, social interaction, play activities with peers. So let's take one by one how occupational therapy works to help the children to improve or enhance their physical skills. In physical skills, let me come to the gross motor skills. When we talk about gross motor skills, it is about big movements. For example, standing, child is jumping, running, hopping, climbing, skipping. So occupational therapist uses different kind of activities. For example, crossing over the hurdles, jumping over the target using hula rings or any kind of particular obstacle. There are different body awareness activities which can be used with music, different kind of songs or rhymes as per the child interest. Repetitive use of certain exercises, for example, practicing of crawling, practicing of kneeling, practicing of jumping really helps to improve gross motor skill in children. Core strengthening is another area which is looked up by occupational therapists in case of children to improve their gross motor skills as well. Now let's come to fine motor skills. Fine motor skills is manipulating the small objects using finger and hands. So occupational therapist uses many Lego toys or blocks to have hand movements. Different kind of puzzles are used. Use of tweezer to transfer the object or small beans, macaroni from one jar to other jar. Use of clipping activity through repetitive practice. Making different patterns with the help of use of toothpicks. Manipulating the clay so that muscle strengthening could be taken care of. Use of stacking cubes. If we talk about the academic skills, how fine motor is used there, gripping, then making strokes, coloring without the boundaries, within the boundaries, then imitation, then copying, and finally coming to the handwriting skills. Let's come to sensory processing skills. So occupational therapist gives the right challenge to the child to optimize the sensory load, sensory overload or underload of the child with the use of different kind of sensory equipments in the form of different kind of swings. It could be a platform swing, disc swing, then bolster swing, different kind of slides, scooter board, colors, multi-sensory medias, for example sand, water. So this is all called as a sensory diet. Sensory diet is important for the child with sensory processing difficulties, it is also important to know the sensory need of the child through the occupational therapy assessment. So there could be the use of alerting activities, for example, jumping on the trampoline, or skipping the rope, or fast movements, fast rhythmical movements inside the tunnel or inside the house. So we talk about the calming activities. Those are like heavy joint activities, heavy pressure activities, use of push and pull exercises, animal walks, then frog jump. So these exercises and activities helps the child to calm down. Sensory pits, gardening, use of sand, water, clay, watercolors, all these medias are used in sensory integration, which is actually helpful in alerting as well as calming the sensory system of the child accordingly. Now let's come to the cognitive and academic skills. It involves attention, memory, problem solving, many executive function, for example, sequencing, organization. So here occupational therapists give different kind of board games so that it enhances the attention of the child. Different kind of proprioceptive, core strengthening activities also helps in attention. Then occupational therapists work on floor exercises and floor jumping activities. Very good example is snake and ladder on the floor, where child has to put attention. He has to sequence and organize to jump over the target, to play the snake and ladder games. Then there are different targets given on the floor with the use of the hula rings, which he has to achieve. There are different repetitive activities, use of memory games, then timers, visual schedules to improve the cognitive skills of the child. When we comes to academic, where we talk about reading and writing, we use multisensory approach to improve the reading skills, use of different kind of papers, use of different kind of medias, maybe it's clay, maybe it's beans, maybe it's different kind of crayons. Let's now come to visual perceptual skills. So visual means what you see, and perceptual means what your brain is perceiving. So visual perceptual skill. So whatever you are seeing, your brain is perceiving it and asking you to perform the action. So visual perceptual skills are very important for daily living as well as for academic in school. So occupational therapist uses lots of puzzles, wall mazes, paper mazes, dot to dot games, matching of different objects or topics, for example vehicles, fruits, vegetables, different visual cards to start and end the activity, then searching for the objects without seeing, with the help of touch. Now let's come to self-help skills. As I mentioned in my earlier video also, we basically concentrate on toileting, eating, brushing, bathing, buttoning, unbuttoning, zipping, unzipping, lacing, unlacing. So basically here parent training is very important in natural setting. So if we talk about toilet training, we give lots of counseling. We give the sequence of the strategies to be followed timingly in the natural environment at home, maybe with the use of the visual schedules during the toileting activity, use of bathroom with proper modified equipments, for example modified seat for the child, putting it over the commode, use of modified brush, for example vibrator brush, or use of odorless paste, or use of some heighted stools so that child could enjoy standing in front of wash basin and mirror. So all these strategies are very important to be taken care during the parent orientation or awareness program, because all these natural setting we cannot provide into the OT room. Same as with eating. If we train the parent about the eating activity, about the posture, table, chair manners, how he has to sit, how he has to maintain the postural stability, use of different kind of utensils, preferences for the food, all these things, when we give counseling and training to the parents, it really helps the it really helps to improve the child's self-help skills. Thank you so much for listening and watching me today, and I hope you will check out my next video about occupational therapy process.